Hey everybody, Chevy, Nobody Else's Auto. Got some more cool new inventory to check out tonight. A truck that I've never had one of these before. They're super hard to find. Was really excited when I got the call on this one. I've never had any Napcos till now. So we're gonna check out a Napco tonight. What's a Napco? If you're not familiar with that, that's a four-wheel drive conversion that GM used in the late 50s, and I think maybe even into the first couple years of the 60s. I'm not sure when GM went to the factory four-wheel drive versus the Napco. Now, Napco was typically GM, Marmon-Harrington was typically Ford. I've had a Marmon-Harrington Ford truck one time, never had a Napco. So let's take a look at this one. 1957 Chevy pickup is what this one was. And like I said, super cool, and I'm super excited about it. Now, the truck overall is your basic 57 Chevy. And the condition of this one is your basic 57 Chevy. It's got some rust in the cab. There's no motor in it. The hood's gone. The front clip really doesn't look bad. I mean, the grill looks good and straight, nice and solid. The front fenders, it's dented right here. And it's got, of course, a little bit of rust down here in the bottom that's been patched previously. But really, for 57 front fenders, they're not bad. We'll take a look at the left one while we're over here. Same thing. Looks pretty good above the eyebrow. Looks pretty good up front. A little bit of rust down here in the bottom. But overall, not too bad. Those 55 to 57 fenders, so tough to find. Even find anything fixable is pretty impressive. Now the rest of this cab, kind of typical. The door's dented up a little bit here in the front. We've got some rust in the cab corners. All pretty typical of this 55 to 59 GM cab. Take a peek inside here. You know, the step is still in it. The lower door hinge pocket is still in it. So it's got a little bit of rust in it, but, you know, not near as bad as a lot of these are. Still has the original seat in it. Dash is all still intact. But overall, kind of an average condition cab with the typical rust that the 55 to 59 cab typically encounters. So this bed, obviously not original to this truck. It's a little different shade. It's just sitting on there loose. That's how I got it. Don't know for sure what year that came off of, but it was on it when I got it, so that's where it still sits. And it's really not a bad bed. 8-foot bed, typical dings and dents, but we look at this thing, it's solid. The steps look good. Not a bad looking bed. Even though it's not the one for this truck, still a pretty decent old bed. Tailgate's bunged up a little bit. Got a big old beefy bumper on the back of this old Napco. Once we get over here on this side of this bed, same thing, some dings and dents, but really a pretty decent bed. And we get back to the cab, we see kind of the same thing. We see some rust in the cab corners. Take a peek inside over here. Steps are still in this side as well. One thing we can see from this side, we can see as well from the other side, kind of an interesting feature, factory radio. You don't see these very often. And it even still has the original speaker up on the roof, just like it should have. So an accessory you don't see very often on these trucks. We've still got some of our controls in here, down here on the poking through the floor as well for the four-wheel drive. So obviously that's what we want to check out too, the four-wheel drive part of this deal. It's pretty much intact. The front diff is apart. Somebody took the cover and took the ring gear off the front diff, but the axles and everything are still there. We can see right here, we've still got the lockout hubs on both sides of this thing. We'll take a peek under the front of this truck, check out this front differential. We can see where this was taken apart. They took the ring gear and some of the parts out of the inside of it. We can see over here, we've still got the Napco tag with the model number, which is a really cool piece. We've got Napco right in the cast into the housing as well. Over here, same thing. We've still got the lockout hub sticking out of the axle on this side as well. Now let's take a peek underneath this thing. Transfer case, drive shaft, all this stuff is still here. We'll see what we can see. We'll kind of poke under this side of the truck, take a look and see what we can get to underneath here. We can see our Napco tag up here on the transfer case. We see a lot of our controls and our levers still here, the drive shafts, everything coming in and out of the transfer case. Pretty neat setup, and something you don't come across very often at all. So there she is. Like I said, I'm pretty excited about it. Definitely the truck is a little rough around the edges, there's no doubt about it. Obviously the front diff is not complete, but it's a Napco. A lot of the pieces are there. They're hard to find, they're cool trucks, and you just don't see them, and that's what makes them different. We see a lot of these old 50 Chevy pickups. Stumbling onto a Napco is something you don't see very often. So really excited about bringing this one in. I know there's a ton of pieces on this truck that guys are going to need for their restorations, and you know, I mean, maybe this truck could be saved. I don't know, it would take a lot of work, but a lot of it is still here as well. And even like the bed, even though that bed isn't the one for this truck that came with this truck, it's a pretty decent bed overall. So that's what we've got for you tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested in this truck or pieces off this truck, give me a call. 620-786-4428 is my number. That number is in the text. If you click on the text for this video, my number's on there. Having that short conversation about your project, year, make, model, body style, all that is information that I need to know if I might have something here that might be able to help you out. You can see behind me, we've got cars and trucks everywhere around here. We've got about 1,500 of them on the ground right now. So having that short conversation about your project and what you're looking for, all that information is critical to know if I've got something here that might be able to help you out. So if you like old cars, you like old trucks, you like old memorabilia, be sure to check out my channel Under Nobody's Show. Check out all the other videos we've got. It's all old cars, trucks, and memorabilia type stuff. That's what we know, that's what we love, so that's what we do here. So be sure to check that channel out. Be sure to subscribe to it and definitely click that notification button so you know when we go live or when we post a new video. You definitely want to click that notification button so you can keep up with all the cool stuff that's coming in. I've been buying a ton of cars and trucks here lately. New stuff coming in every single week. So we've got tons more cool stuff to show you. So be sure to check that out. Stay tuned and keep up to date with it. If you're on Facebook, please share the video with your friends. Invite them to come over, give the page a like so they can hang out with us. Keep up with what's going on as well. So that's what we've got for you tonight. Hope you enjoyed checking out the old Napco. I'm obviously excited about it. It's a cool old truck. First Napco I've ever brought in. And definitely excited because it's such a great piece and something you don't see very often. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. Tons more cool stuff coming up. Tons more cool stuff coming in. Got any questions, give me a shout. And we will see you soon on the next video.